Hey, so on TikTok, y'all know me as Sierra Holiday, as well as on my Instagram. And if you are following me on YouTube, then you know by now one of my middle names is Jacolia, and that's Jacolia's Gems. Jecolia apostrophe S Gems with a J. So with that being said, I normally do my story times on YouTube. I'm gonna talk to TikTok about this because a lot of y'all in the comments are super spiritual and y'all have insight. You guys know about water spirits, familiar spirits, things of that nature, and y'all be engaging me in the comments. So I'm gonna start off with this. I have a cousin, a big cousin, whom we share one of the same names. And we grew up together. She grew up down south. I grew up in Chicago. I always was down south in Mississippi as a child. My mama was born in the Deltas in a house in Mississippi. Y'all already know what was taking place in the Mississippi Bayou. She was Choctaw and Creole. Her family, the Willises, they were Tubies. They were chief. They lived on the reservations. I found all of this out through record researching. Her great-grandfather was a passing Creole man from Louisiana, a Redbone. Y'all already know a lot of things that was taking place in those areas. This cousin is from Mississippi as well as our four-stated older cousin, Bam. So growing up, we were close. As of recent, some repressed memories that took place between she and I when she was a teenager, basically early adult, 19, 20, and I'm a teenager. Some things took place. So throughout my young adulthood, I was dating this guy who was famous. Early stages of fame. And we were getting to know each other for about a year before we ever started dating or whatever. Met online. FaceTime, we would email, we would talk on the phone. I knew his schedule. I knew when he would be in the studio recording. I knew when he would be on set acting, Bam. So everybody in the family isn't privy to this information. She's one of them. Of course, my parents knew, my big sister and little sister. So throughout this time, she's in the services and she's, her career is coming together. She's making really good money. She dates guys who make, who have notoriety in the music industry, DJs or whatever. She's gorgeous. Oh my gosh, she gorgeous and she tall and she thick. And she chocolate. She cold, right? So this is my big cousin. We get really, really close. Some things end up taking place where she asks a favor from an older person in our family, which would end up tying me up. And the responsibility would end up being on me. The older person in our family declined and she cut them off. She ended up being very disrespectful, just very nasty over the years. So this big cousin ends up getting in covenant with two older other relatives of mine in the family. And I end up finding out that some way, somehow, I was the topic of conversation in a room that I was not in, amongst three older women in my family who I'm supposed to be able to look up to. I'm the baby amongst this side. And amongst other sides, I'm the middle. So I'm still the baby. So, I end up finding some things out that this cousin in particular said about me, my mom, my dad, my grandparents, my uncle, great uncles, great aunts, just like everybody from this other older relative who didn't know these other two older relatives. She was blind to it. Me and her were close. So she came back and was like, whoa, I shared with them a story about our trip to Jamaica, and I'm thinking that we just talking amongst cousins. And I found all this out. Mind you, this cousin don't know anything about nobody in the family too tough. So she was like, why didn't you tell me that they were like this? And I told her, because I ain't like that. You know, I just be hoping that people could have different relationships. Just because you was a crappy person to me, don't mean that you're going to be a crappy person to somebody else, right? So in my mind, this is witchcraft. This is what we call a coven of witches. Familiar spirits, they gossip, they bicker, they backbite. They put people's business on the table to be discussed. They create wedges of jealousy and triangulation and just all of these things. They operate with malintent and manipulation and gaslighting. And when they don't get their way, they're hot and cold patterns. But because they are familiar, they are family, they are bloodline, they are not cut off at the head the way that they should be. And these people are allowed to take all of their spirits and still operate within the family dynamic, all under the gauze of being blood. Do we not know that there is life in the blood? And that the people that you are related to will have the power to kill you the most? Yeshua Bar Yosef in the New Testament even warned us about our families would be the one betraying us. So anyway, y'all, I have this great aunt who I was very, very, very close to. Love her a lot. She had a clean diet. She was an Islamic woman. Her and this cousin ended up getting into it because she told her, as her auntie, this Oshun and this black magic that you are doing is not of the Most High. They got into it. My cousin cut off our aunt. Our aunt ended up passing away. Not blaming my cousin for that. Our aunt ended up passing away. But they got into it because of how deep she is into this worship. There's an Oshun figurine in one of our elders' house, and she did not know that it was Oshun. I revealed it to her recently, but this big cousin saw this Oshun relic, this Oshun statue, and said to me, oh, so-and-so don't know, but our ancestors are telling her, knowing that this elder person don't know anything about that type of stuff as far as the relics and the representation. This person has shared with me that June and Conquer roots have been placed on family members' husbands and things of that nature before. So this big cousin purposely and knowingly told another elder in the family to add Shango and Oshun to vows that they were reciting. And they just thinking that they naming two black West African God, you know, like, I don't. So a little bit before my mother died, there was a family event that took place, and this cousin was at the event, and she told one of our older relatives that she didn't like my mama. Mind you, my mama never did anything to her. My mother actually took her brother in and helped raise him, helped clothe him, helped feed him, and all these other things. This woman proceeded to put my mother earrings in her ear. I got sick. My mother got sick. My mother passed away. After my mother passed away, this same woman ended up in the hospital almost dying several times. The same woman also attempted to make herself as competition between me and my ex, who happens to be a pharmacist, just questioning him. Why you like her? Why you like her? Why you like her? Just all of these things that this cousin has been allowed to do. TikTok. I know this is about a 10-minute long video. I had to give y'all a little bit of background. Y'all inform me. Why do black families house witches, soothe witches, sup with witches, eat with witches, go check on witches? Why do they not take them off at the head, as the word has told us? Comment down below and let me know what y'all think about this. This is Jacolia of Jacolia Gems on TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube. This Sierra holiday, y'all. Bye.